Good morning. All right. Hello, Kat. Hello, Marie. It is so good to have you guys joining me this morning. All right. Kat says she just made her cup of coffee and she's writing out her to-do list. So I'm going to be making my to-do list when I go into the first sprint um, because I know I need to get stuff done. I just don't know what all that is until I sit down and actually plan it out. Otherwise, I am going to forget surely important things. Um, I'm definitely going to be reading. I still have a couple things I didn't finish up in August, but I also need to dive into my final FMC readathon TBR. I have a library haul that I need to sort out and remember why I checked those books out. I have to do laundry. I was thinking of trying to film a little short of some variety. So definitely things that I need to do and get done. I was running a little behind this morning, trying to rush to get here. Um, on Tuesdays nights, I typically don't stay at home. Uh, so I left Joey's house a little later than I was planning on. All right, and we have Aaron joining us. Hello, Aaron. Aaron's at work. That's a wonderful place to be productive. Maybe it's not too bad today for you, though. Um, see, Kat also still has to make September reading and watching plans. Yes, I've been behind in most things going into September, so hopefully I can get a lot of that straightened out today. Um, so the way that I choose to do my sprints is I just pull a random number out. I have numbers 20 through 45 in my little jar. Anything more than 45, and I'm not going to focus and I'm going to be doing something else. So it's never going to be more than 45. And I also feel very productive in just like short little bursts. So it could be anywhere between 20 to 35 minutes. So we'll just see as it goes. Um, so I'm probably just going to go ahead and dive into the first sprint and then see if anyone else trickles in. That way we can all get started on what needs to be done. Um, 34. You're going to have a 34-minute sprint. All right. Kat says that sounds good to her. All right. I was trying to get my timer set up before I got here. I'm just going to get that going. Um, yeah, like I said, I was behind this morning. So I am getting that set up now. And that site is being very strange for me today. So it's a little off center, but I don't think that really matters. It'll still count for us. So now it's being funky again. Just a moment. All right, now we've got it. Same cat. Same. Today was just extra. All right. 34 minutes. Let's go. All right. Welcome back. First sprint is done. I started my laundry and I did write out a to-do list, but I'm not sure I got everything on it. And some of it's very vague. It's mostly make more lists is the gist of it. I like making lots of lists and then I rarely uh, do them. So we'll see how this one goes. So I need to, in the next sprints, make up my medicine for the week. I need to update my little reading notebook, um, where I just kind of keep track of things that I've read in a non-digital format. I need to figure out what I'm going to read, like today when I have time to read. I also need to plan my carnival TBR and start planning my Halloween-a-thon TBR. So Carnival is a week-long event hosted by Kelsey's Nostalgic Life on her Patreon. And we do lots of clowns and circus and freak show carnivals, that type of stuff for that week. So I have to narrow down that list because it is only a week long and I try to be really ambitious. Um, and then I really need to start planning what I want to read for Halloween-a-thon. So I need to dig into that stack. I also, part of figuring out what I need to read today is going through my TBR I made for the final FMC readathon. And since we now have our round one prompts, is see if I have any books that are in a summer setting or have revenge in them, because I really don't know that much about the books I picked. So I'm going to have to dig through those and see if they match any of those prompts. Right. All right. Hold on just one moment, please. Oh, sorry about that. I just had some not great information come through that to deal with. All right, back to the chat here. Marie said sorry she missed the starting chat. Her cat needed feeding. Yes, priorities. The cat is the priority. And she says that she's working on her reading plans for the rest of the year. Very nice. I can't do it in such long stretches. I do so many readathons and I don't know those prompts until a little bit closer. I do know that in November, I want to do something I have never done before, and I'm calling it Nothing New November, where in November I just do rereads because I'm always putting off rereads because I want to read the new stuff. I want to read the stuff I don't know, but I also really want to read the stuff I know I love, and I want to annotate, and I want to highlight, and I want to tab. So November is going to be all about rereads for me. All right. Kat was asking Marie if her cat is super vocal. And yes, she is, and she knows her feeding times. Yeah, that's very much a cat's way of life. Only one of mine is super vocal. The other ones tend to only be vocal either when I come home. Smudge is really vocal when I walk in the door, and then Chauncey gets vocal around feeding times. That's how my son's cat Nene is. She's very demanding and loud. Yes. Yes. Right. And I had told Marie no worries, and I'm sure that one of my cats will need something before it's all over with. There's 3 cats in this house. Maybe one of them will make an appearance today. All right. Marie says that she thinks she knows what she's reading in the next 2 months. She's put in library and Libby holds. Very nice. Yes, I love people that use Libby in their libraries. I utilize mine. I don't really have to. I don't need to. I own a lot of books. I own more books than I'll probably be able to read before I die. But I still check things out from the library every week. I don't always read everything I check out. I kind of treat it just like my pile of possibilities I make every month. Um, if I'm in the mood for it and it works out for something, then I will read it. And if I'm just not in the mood, or if it turns out it's not something I'm interested in, I send it back. The checkout numbers help the library regardless of if I read it or not. So let's see. Kat's talking on the phone with her husband. Aaron is working on support tickets for work and requesting study space. Very nice. All right. Aaron says, my cat's found a flower head she tried and is playing with that. Yes. You can buy all the cat toys in the world that you want. And they will always find something else that they prefer that was not intended to be a cat toy. So, um, our newest cat, Sienna, that lives at Joey's house, loves foam blocks. We have extra foam blocks from our board game hobby that just kind of take up space in boxes, and she has found quite a few of those and just loves batting them around. Let's see. I mostly do it long in advance to put Libby holds, but I don't always follow my plans. Yes. And if your library is anything like mine, the Libby holds have a tremendous weight. My library is very small, and so my Libby is through a network of a few libraries together in North Carolina. I also pay to get a card from the Charlotte Mecklenburg Library because it's just a larger city. It's $45 for the year, which gives me access to their Libby, their Hoopla, and their Canopy. So ebooks, audiobooks, and movies. And it's so much cheaper than any of the other audiobooks stuff you have to pay for, Audible or Everand, any of that. $45 for the year is cheap. There's still waits, but I have access to more titles, and the waits are not as long as mine because almost any title that's remotely popular or remotely new is going to be a month to 2 months. A lot of times it's just like several months waiting times. So, Marie, were you able to get out of your slump? Aaron wants to know. And Marie seems a bit confused. I was never in a slump. Maybe confusing her with someone else. Oh, my bad. I thought I saw you saying you weren't reading much, but I'm not surprised I mixed that up. Or you might have said it was 10 years ago, and I think you said it yesterday. I do that a lot too. Yeah, I feel that, Aaron. I do the same kind of things often. I made iced coffee this morning, and it's not, oh no, that is disappointing. Oh, that's really a bummer. You should make another one if you're able to, or if you have DoorDash or something available where you live. Just get a new one delivered to you. I cannot get things like food readily delivered to my house, so maybe you're in an area that you can. All right, Marie says, oh, maybe at the beginning of the year, but I've been reading lots in the last few months. Awesome. So if you were slumpy at the beginning of the year, I am very glad to hear that you have made it out of that and that you've been reading a lot in the past few months, which I did see your post in the Discord for your wrap up and that Sophie Mouse book. I'm telling you, it looks so cute. I'm going to have to look into that series because I love cute things. Speaking of cute things, I do have lots of picture books. Well, not quite a few picture books I have checked out from the library to get ready for Halloween-thon and Carnival. So I thought I might show you guys some of those. So for Carnival, I came across a picture book, The Farmer and the Clown. Oh, got this little, sad little cute clown here. And that's the only one that's came in for Carnival so far. But I do have a handful of books that are cute for Halloween-thon. So, Pumpkin Cat. If it has a cat, I'm going to give it a try. Whether that's in books, movies, manga, whatever. There's also Pumpkin Heads. I love any excuse to read a picture book. I know I don't have to have an excuse, but having thematic readathon reasons is always nice. I came across this one, Penguin Pumpkin. So sometimes in my library search, I will just type in a word and just see what comes up. And if something catches my eye, I will do that. So I was searching for just pumpkin, and Penguin Pumpkin popped up. So I had to get it. And then I also got Pumpkin Soup. And it's got a rabbit and a bird of some kind and a cat, and they're eating soup. And I can't wait to read it. Also have another kids book. It's not a picture book, but let me grab it. Also for Halloween-a-thon. Once again, it had a kitten in the title, cat on the cover, and it's Kitten in the Candy Corn. And it's an animal art book. I've never read any of the animal art series. So this one might make it into the Halloween-a-thon TBR. Let's see. And Aaron has a peach in the fridge. Might go for that instead. Okay. All right. Yes. Same, Marie. I also live in a small town, so DoorDash is pretty much out of the question. I also don't think you could get an Uber or Lyft readily if you wanted to. Now I can get Instacart for a few of the stores, but that's not having food ready to eat very quickly. That's food delivered to me that I still have to cook. So, let's see. Kat is participating in Week of Weird and Series September. So yes, I plan on doing Week of Weird, and I'm also doing the final FMC readathon. Because I really love a competitive readathon that gives me very specific prompts. Because I have trouble deciding what to read, and left to my own devices, I just spiral and never pick anything. So if you give me really specific prompts, then that really helps me narrow it down and find things in my collection to read. All right, and we're talking about the Sophie Mouse books here. Yes, it's really cute. It's a series for kids, starting reading chapter books. It's 20 plus books. Awesome. I'm definitely going to have to look into that. Penguin Pumpkin looks so cute. Yes, it does. All right. I will also start my Halloween-a-thon ABC movie challenge when fall officially starts. I'm also putting together a Stephen King puzzle in celebration of King's birthday. Awesome. I love that Kat has been doing the ABC movie challenges throughout the year. So if you don't know Kat, um, she hosts sprints on Wednesday evenings over at Kat's Novel Adventures and does some other awesome things. And for a lot of her readathons throughout the year that she's been participating in, she's been watching movies that start with every letter in the alphabet during the month. And I think we have Smudge coming over to say hello. She might stay off camera. She might pop in. Who knows? All right. A lot of animal pumpkin books that don't actually feature animals made out of pumpkin. I'm disappointed. All right. This is Smudge. This is my soulmate cat. She was my little parking lot panther, and she is a chunky girl now. She is the best thing that has happened in my 19 years of working at Lowe's because she came from that parking lot. Oh my God, they all look so cute. Yes. I'm excited about the picture books I have found this year for all of the fall activities. I love the picture books, Nicole. Kitten in the candy corn is cute. Yes. Yes. I don't know if I'll have a chance to add it to my TBR. Hopefully. I got to see what else I've put holds out on. Ooh, Cat, what's the puzzle of? Yes, that would be nice to know. It has its book cover. She'll put it in her Discord. Awesome. Yes. That does sound very awesome. Hopefully it's a lot of like the older covers that look good. Something about me is I don't like a lot of new book covers. I miss the days when a cover had art and told you a story. Everything now looks really generic and it all looks the same. I walk into Barnes and Noble and I could pick up a book and find 25 more at least that look exactly like it. Arson. So, like this cover of The Hogfather by Terry Pratchett, like there's so much art and it tells you a story. Like I love judging a book by its cover, but if you give me nothing to judge it on, I'm not gonna pick it up. One person decides to DoorDash in your town, they might make bank, assuming they'd be allowed to do that. Um, there are a couple people that try to do it, but where I live, it's not worth your time and gas and wear and tear on your vehicle, really. I live in a tourist town. Uh, I live with where ski resorts are and people who have summer homes. They come up from Florida during the summer, and then in the winter, we get skiers. In the fall, we get leaf lookers. And driving up and down the mountains, like to the top of Beach Mountain, to the top of Sugar Mountain, up and down those, it's just not worth it, in my opinion. Which is why I don't think a lot of people do it. And also, in like my county, the fast food that you could get delivered to you in a reasonable amount of time, like McDonald's or Subway. That's it. There's a Bojangles on the other side of the county, that's a little bit further in a Hardee's, but there's just not a lot of like food options. So Boone is the nearest like kind of bigger town that would have a lot of the options. And it's gonna be a 30-minute drive to get there. If you're in Newland or Banner Elk where I live. And then like coming back with it, like just takes too long. Maybe one day. Maybe one day we'll get something. Ah, Georgina. Hello, kitty. You are so cute. Yes, Smudge is My girl. Smudge is gorgeous. Yes. I put a hold at my library for Penguin and Pumpkin. Awesome. Yeah, a lot of times if I just see something that someone has picked up or shown on a Discord or something, I'll just put in a hold. So I get it. I'm glad that I was able to influence you, Marie. Uh, Kat's friend Helen gave her the king puzzle. It's 1,000 pieces, and she's excited to finally put it together. Yeah, I have a closet full of puzzles, so I'm gonna have to dig in there. I know I have some that are like fall and Halloween theme, so I'm gonna have to pick some of those out. Ah, yeah, Mountain Town. Gotcha. Yeah, mountain towns are special. Michigan has been perfect. I love it, but I'm from the Southwest and I do miss mountains. Only thing Michigan is missing. Yeah, I have not traveled a lot, but when I do, I definitely miss the mountains. Like everything looks when it looks flat, you definitely miss the mountains. Speaking of putting things on hold at random, um, if I can find where I put it. I have a book that I put on hold and it came in and I checked it out yesterday and I have no idea why I put it on hold. So a lot of times I put things on hold because they're recommendations for readathons or someone showed it on their channel or I saw it on someone's Discord post. But Valis by Philip K. Dick, I have no idea. I have no idea why I checked this out or put it on hold. It does sound like something I would like to read, but I just can't remember what influenced me to do that. So maybe I can come up with that. Uh, Maybe I'll figure it out. I don't know. All right, we are caught up with the chats. So I'm going to go ahead and draw out our next sprint. Once again, if you weren't here at the beginning, I have numbers 20 through 45 in my jar, and I draw one out, and that's how long we will sprint for. Oh, we got a short one. We're going to do a 20-minute sprint. I love shorter little sprints because it really pushes me to try to get something really done. So I'm going to do a 20-minute sprint. Got to get the timer set up. And a 20-minute sprint for me is perfect to try to get a volume of manga read. And I do have one I started the other night, so I should be able to finish it. I don't remember what it's called. What it's called? Boys Abyss. Boys Abyss Volume 1. I have volumes 1 and 2 checked out from the library. So I'm probably going to try to chew through that volume of manga. I hope you all are productive for this next 20 minutes. Let me get that up. All right, here we go. Oh, maybe there we go. There we go. All right, that 20 minutes went by pretty quick. I was able to almost finish that volume of Boys Abyss. I am enjoying this manga. Definitely continuing to volume 2. I think I have about 10 pages left of volume 1. I hope you all were able to accomplish something good. Before we went on that sprint, Erin was telling Kat she didn't realize there was a whole puzzle section on her Discord. Yes. Kat's Discord has a little bit of everything. It's a lovely community. Yes, Erin, I posted my August puzzle recently. Yes, yes. Let's see. And Marie has started working on her Halloween-a-thon bingo board. Yay! Um, I have started nothing for Halloween-a-thon yet. Uh, so I don't know if I want to do a bingo board or if I want to do the game board. I don't know. I just haven't decided yet. The only thing I've made plans for in regards to Halloween-a-thon is when I asked my brother about making my Halloween art. So in my thumbnail, my little character art, my brother does that art. He's amazing. I asked him specifically if he could put bat wings on Smudge for the Halloween themed ones he's making for me. So, okay, let's see. Chat chose her book of the month books and went through some emails. Sorry about that. Apparently, Smudge wants to talk to you guys too. I recently stopped book of the month. I just have too many of them and I haven't read like any of them. Like I love picking out books and I love getting books in the mail. So I was doing book of the month for a long time. But a lot of the books aren't books I would actually ever just go out and buy on my own. So it also wasn't things I would just pick up off of my shelf. Sorry, Smudge is also trying to rub up on the computer screen. So I just had to stop book of the month and aardvark. I also did Owl Crate for a while, did Fairy Loot a couple times. I'm a subscription box junkie. So for the final FMC readathon, I'm on team cheerleader. I can't talk today. Cheerleaders. And the bonus prompt for that team is reading popular books released this year. So I took that as an opportunity to specifically pick book of the months that are on my shelf for that TBR. So I can make progress with those, see if it's books I'm going to keep or send on their way, and rack up bonus points for my team. Marie stopped her book of the month not too long ago, but the price in Canada was far too high. I didn't like most options. Yeah. In the beginning, I liked some of the options. But before I canceled, like the past few months that I actually chose one, like I was skipping because there just wasn't anything like screaming it was for me. Yeah, I don't know. It was always a lot of romance and just kind of general fiction. Even the horror wasn't always very like horror-y. Like for me. Yeah, just not a lot of stuff that I would seek out. This is Kat's first year with Book of the Month. Not sure if she will continue or not. She also used to subscribe to Alcrate. Yes, I loved the pretty books with Alcrate. I liked the other stuff, even when they started doing their quarterly ones that were genre specific. I tried the sci-fi and the horror. They were lovely books. Fantastic, beautiful editions. And I generally just didn't like the books they sent. So, like, regular Alcrate was always kind of like fantasy, romantasy. Um, and I very rarely read them. And if I did read them, I didn't really like them. So I'm better off just staying away from the subscription boxes and just buying books I know that I would like. Fairy Loot was kind of the same, just a lot of fantasy, romantasy, and a lot of the books they sat on my shelf for a long time, and then I got rid of them, never reading them. Some of them were even still in the plastic. I didn't even unwrap the plastic off of them. All right. I need to go in the next sprint, check my laundry. We switch it over to the dryer, put another load in. And I think I'll probably finish that volume of manga and then see what I need to start reading for the FMC. So, Kat says, I enjoy Alcrate. She has subscribed for many years. I do the quarterly horror box and YA fantasy, but I usually skip the YA selection. Okay. Yeah, I tried the quarterly horror box and the quarterly sci-fi box. And they are, fantastic production. I actually got the Buffalo Hunter when I was doing it, even though that was a DNF for me, because I think that Stephen Graham Jones is not for me. Joey does love the book, so he kept that copy because I hated to see it go because it was very pretty. And the other, let's see, the sci-fi one I had was another book that just wasn't for me. Another author that I think just isn't for me. It was Overgrowth by Mira Grant. So Marie does not like reading hardcover books, so the boxes aren't really for her. Okay. Yes. For a long time, I was trying to collect hardcovers, but as I'm getting older, I also enjoy paperbacks more. They're easier to hold, easier to read. And then if I'm gonna like annotate or highlight or any of that, I want a paperback copy. So a lot of my favorite books I own in hardcover just to have a copy that will hold up and look good on the shelf. And then I also own a paperback copy so I can kind of tear it up. uh, Smudge is very interested in being on camera today, but she can also be very spicy, so she can turn at any moment. So I actually have, I think we have like 3 copies of Tender as the Flesh. So that is a book that Joey and I both absolutely adore and have read multiple times. So I have the Barnes & Noble special edition hardcover, and then I have a paperback version for my rereads so I can pick it apart and write all over it. And then because it is one that we both love and recommend, we actually have another copy to loan out to people. um, um, well, I'm just trying to decide what I need to do in the next sprint. I will go ahead and just see how long. Oh, we're going to double it this time. We got a 40-minute. So this is definitely one where I can dig into something to make progress on a bigger project. And start getting the timer ready. 40 minutes coming up. Right. Uh, Happy sprinting. See you in 40 minutes. All right. That 40 minutes is up. I hope everyone was able to get something done or just relax, whatever you were aiming to do. I hope you did it. I did make progress on my laundry. There's a load in the dryer now, another load in the wash. I was looking through my pile of possibilities for the prompts for this first round of FMC readathon, and I think I decided on Seek the Traitor's Son by Veronica Roth. A lot of the books and my pile of possibilities meet my teen prompt, which is a popular 2026 release, which that one is. And one of the killer prompts is water on the cover. And that was the only one that had water on the cover. I was trying to find one that had a summer setting, but I didn't have much luck with that with the stuff that I had already picked out. So I think I'm going to do Seek the Traitor's Son this week. Let's see. Marie says that she didn't do much, to be honest, and that's totally fine. I don't feel like I done much, but I actually kind of did. It was fun hanging out with you guys, but I need to go now. Thanks for the sprints. Thank you, Marie. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Thank you so much for spending time with me. All right. I'm probably going to do one more sprint and then hop off of here myself. Let's see what Kat's up to. Kat said that flew by. Yes, it did. I started making a list of movies for Halloween-a-thon. I looked at Kelsey's list and got a few titles. I also checked my watch list on Letterboxd and got a couple. I started at least. Yes. Yeah, that is great progress. I did look through the Halloween-a-thon printables to try and decide how I want to do my Halloween-a-thon, and I think I decided on the mansion that Christine made that's already filled in with some symbols. That one looked fun, and I like things that already tell me what to do. So I did try to print that stuff, but I think the printer is having an issue, and I just haven't been into that room to check it out yet. Kat made another cup of coffee and ate a Chomps beef stick. Get some protein going. I had McDonald's for breakfast. I had a biscuit and gravy and a hash brown from McDonald's. So, yes, I did finish Boys Abyss Volume 1, and I actually started Boys Abyss Volume 2. And this is definitely a series that I'm going to continue. I checked out the first 2 volumes from the library. I will check in the next sprint to see if they have more that I can put on hold. I don't know how new this series is. So if they have more available, I will go ahead and put those on hold. If not, I will just add that series into my other wish lists. Most of the manga we buy from a site called In Stock Trades, just because it's cheaper there than anywhere else, including Amazon. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and draw out another number here. All right, 29. I will do a 29-minute sprint. We'll come back together, see how everyone did, and then I'm going to call it a day as far as my sprints go. If anyone needs more motivation or social fun later in the day, Kat will be having her What's Up Wednesday sprints at 4:30 Eastern time. my time. And I will post her link in the chat for you guys. I want to get the timer reset. 29 minutes. What? And Kat said that was perfect for her as well. All right, guys, this is the last one. Let's make it count. All right. That was the end of that 29-minute sprint. I fixed the printer and got my Halloween-a-thon items that I needed. So I can delve into those a bit more later. And then I finished volume 2 of Boys Abyss, and it is wild. It is disturbing. It's right up my alley. It is fantastic, and it left on a huge kind of like cliffhanger. So I need to get my hands on volume 3 for sure. I did put the link for Cat's sprints later today in the chat if anyone needs some more sprints later on. Let's see, Kat says she is working on a book review of My Friends. It was her last book of August. Awesome. I've never been big on like doing reviews. I'm much more a vibes person. But even this year, I've started just not even rating it like stars on Goodreads and Storygraph, unless it really stuck with me or if I keep thinking about it and going back to it. So if I rate it right away, oftentimes that changes. So I'm trying to wait and see how I feel about them after I sit with it a little while, or if someone actually asks me about the book, I can actually tell them about it. I'm just trying to embrace more just reading because, not to rate it or because it's being talked about. I don't know. I have just kind of stopped rating things. And Kat says, thank you. So thank you all for hanging out with me today. This has been so much fun, chatting with you guys. Kat says, thank you so much for the sprints. You did amazing. Not surprised since you were, oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Kat. That truly means a lot. Anyways, I had a lot of fun with you guys, and we will do this again next Wednesday at 10 a.m. I hope you all have an amazing day.